In 18th century England, murder was common, but some crimes were considered worse than death itself. Imagine this. A woman conspires with her own son, murders her husband in his sleep, dismembers his body, throws his head into the River Thames, and for this crime she is not hanged, she is burned alive. This is the true story of Catherine Hayes. England in the early 1700s was a harsh and unforgiving place. Life was ruled by rigid laws, strict social hierarchies, and brutal punishments. A woman was legally beneath her husband. To disobey him was a sin. To kill him was considered treason. This was the world Catherine Hayes lived in. Catherine Hayes, also known as Catherine Hall, was known for chaos. She lied, she stole, she manipulated. Before marrying John Hayes, she lived a life filled with scandal. Even after marriage, she made no secret of her hatred for her husband. But Catherine's darkest secret was still hidden. A secret so disturbing, it shocked even hardened 18th century England. Catherine began an incestuous relationship with her own son, Thomas Billings. Together, they spoke openly of murder. John Hayes, Catherine's husband, was in the way, and Catherine wanted him gone, but she wouldn't act alone. Catherine recruited another man, Thomas Wood, a laborer, and her lover. 3 people, 1 victim, 1 plan. They waited for the right night. On the night of March 1st, 1726, John Hayes drank heavily with the men, drunk unaware, helpless. When he finally collapsed into sleep, Thomas Wood lifted an axe. The first blow did not kill him. Thomas Billings finished what was started. John Hayes died in his own bed, betrayed by the woman he trusted most. But murder was not enough. They dismembered the body. The torso was thrown into a pond, limbs scattered, and John Hayes' head was dropped into the River Thames. Catherine believed the crime was perfect. She was wrong. Days later, a human head was discovered along the riverbank. It was placed on public display, and someone recognized the face. Fury erupted. Angry mobs stormed the streets demanding justice. The investigation moved quickly, and suspicion fell directly on Catherine. Under pressure, her accomplices confessed. Catherine Hayes was not charged with ordinary murder. She was charged with petty treason, because under English law, a wife who killed her husband was seen as rebelling against the natural order. The verdict was inevitable: guilty. Thomas Wood was hanged. Thomas Billings was hanged. Catherine Hayes received a different fate. On May 9th, 1726, she was tied to a wooden stake. Unlike others before her, she was not strangled first. Catherine Hayes was burned alive before a silent, horrified crowd. Her execution marked one of the most infamous crimes in English history, a story of betrayal, of twisted loyalty, and of a legal system where justice was as cruel as the crime itself. In 18th century England, murder could end your life, but betrayal could turn you to ash. If you enjoy dark historical true crime stories, subscribe for more forgotten crimes that history tried to bury. Because some stories refuse to stay buried.